So here we go. It's the Melbourne Storm to receive, taking on the St George Illawarra Dragons on a pleasant night in Wollongong. And a good committee there to meet Christian Welsh. Dragons have won 2 games here, beat the West's Tigers as well as the Dolphins in the early stages of this season. Harry Grant, remember he came off the bench last week, but back in his customary starting role. That's Trent Liero. Josh King, been here 2 years, has not missed a game for the Storm. He's an Iron Man.
Stand there, Billy, 1 step here and hold on 4. Wait, Billy, go forward.
Michael Molo there, last to get off here. And once again, the fullback, Nick Meaney, as we await the re-emergence of Ryan Pappenhausen.
Yeah, that's it, Francis, go. Nothing late, Billy.
So a solid opening set. Hughes gives this one plenty of height. Tyrell Sloan meets a very sturdy line of Melbourne defence.
And in that month of football where they've been competitive against sides, Tyrell Sloan has played some good footy. So not only will they be looking for Ben Hunt to have a big game, Tyrell Sloan on the edges could cause some problems for the Melbourne Storm.
Now Moses Sully. Melbourne started slowly last week. They were under siege early against Canberra, but they did keep their line intact. And then we saw what they did once they got the ascendancy. Running wide here, Talatau Amo. Frank Molo back in the side, suffered a nasty concussion a couple of weeks ago. Missed last week. So Dragons, like Melbourne, get it to halfway. Xavier Coates is just happy to run it up himself as we say hello to a man who, like you, Brandy, working a double shift today. Matt Russell, hello to you.
Wouldn't be anywhere else, Stan. Good evening to you, Greg, and all watching. Beautiful night in Wollongong, but the wind is a factor, a westerly gusting across the ground, not favouring either team, but testing the catches, no doubt. You're right, Melbourne crave consistency, chasing back-to-back wins, first time since round 17, and St George Illawarra, they just want to take down a top 8 opponent in the run home. Against Melbourne tonight, the Warriors, then Newcastle, and they beat 1, 2, or all 3 of the above.
Thank you, Matty. 1 win now ahead of the West's Tigers after the Tigers had that dramatic victory this afternoon. Hughes, again, lots of height on this. And Sloan looking a touch uncomfortable, but he does the job.
He was just out in front of him. He had to work hard to pull that in then, so he did well, Tyrell Sloan. They can ill afford to make an early error, the Dragons.
Fiona, followed up by Tyrell Sloan. So Max again in, Zach Lomax, unfortunately unavailable. And a little bit of latitude there given by the referee, Peter Goff. Perhaps on those Melbourne markers. Connor Mollison gets a chance in the starting side. He's the dummy half, and that's Dan Russell carrying it forward. Hunt gets that one away. Good chase from Grant, but Warbrick powers into the defence. So Melbourne have kept their centre formation here. Marion Sebet, Young Tonamapaya. I was thinking if Warbrick came back, there might have been a reshuffle, but not the case.
And still no Justin Olam.
So they've been the centres now for the last 4 or 5 games, with King now almost to halfway. Welsh threatening to pass, eventually does. King, tiny tackle down low from Molo. Frank, and same old story here. This one, the wind drifting the ball across, and Sloan catches it and again has nowhere to go. Melbourne in their groove early. Michaeli Ravalawa, 19 tries this year, miles ahead of the next best for the Dragons. This will be the 4th time Michaeli has been top try scorer for the Red V. Laurie. Some perfect completions from both sides as they just go through this period of these gentle jabs. Sloan, last to play it here. No drama for Remus Smith. 18 runs last week, season high, so certainly plenty of involvement for him.
Well, that's the first 5 minutes of the game gone, with both teams just getting to their 5th play and kicking it down in that 10-metre box. So the Dragons just have to stay in the grind with the Melbourne Storm here.
Good strength again from the winger.
Neither side really winning the field position advantage, although Hughes goes a fair way.
He's deadly when he runs, just grabbed by the back of the shorts. That was Frank Molo again with a good tackle. Kaltoa going very wide, really giving Seve no room.
Well, Seve needed to come back on the inside there. Kaltoa was holding the ball, waiting for him.
So, haven't seen much of this man Munster as yet. Here he goes with a cutout. Connor Mapaya is going to be trapped. So the Dragons ticking all the boxes defensively so far.
And the Melbourne Storm deciding not to kick the ball. Thought they'd chance their arm with a shift out to this left-hand edge, but the Dragons' defence up to it.
Oh, there's the error. There's the error. The game was waiting for something like that, and it's Michaeli Ravalawa who's put it down.
No challenge. No, time's up now. Oh, boy. There was a fair bit of work on the ball as he was trying to get it down to play it.
Grant, did you see the look he gave the ref? Just a nervous look there. But hey, it works. And Melbourne get the start here 30 metres out. First meeting between these sides in 2023. So they've loaded up the right side here, the Storm, with 4 as it comes to the open left. On the side with the more open space. Tonamapaya, though, wrapped up. Kamakamita up to the 20 and beyond.
Michael Francis in the middle here. Oh, Connor, wait. Go to.
Out it goes to Munster. The short ball for King. Back it comes to Hughes. It pinballs off him.
Double knock on.
And that is against Melbourne. Hughes was pleading for a Dragons knock on, suggesting he didn't knock it on.
I'm pretty sure he's given the feed to Melbourne, Dan.
Have a look, Hughes called double knock on.
Gee, I thought Hughes did get his left hand to the ball there when it was pushed back.
You are indeed correct, Brandy. So the double knock on signal, but... So Hughes with ball in hand. So yes, Peter Goff, and no challenge from the Dragons.
Let's go, heads in. Box off. NRL Dan.
Now you see Munster there in the bottom of the screen, frustrated that the ball didn't get in the scrum quick enough. Hughes goes himself, and well wrapped up by Max Fionney. Oh, that's a line baller. And that's got the crowd murmuring as Welsh plays it now. Short side again, really peppering this right side, and you see why. It's Warbrick slamming it down in the corner. And the Melbourne Storm profit by attacking the Dragons left, and they're on their way.
Yeah, nicely worked set play here from the Melbourne Storm. Harry Grant looking open, comes back down the short side to Jerome Hughes, throws a cutout pass. Matt Fionney well in field, leaving that touchline open for Will Warbrick. Dives, keeps his body in the air. He's turned into a very good try-scoring winger, hasn't he, this season, Will Warbrick. The Rugby Union convert, nailing down that right wing spot for the Melbourne Storm. Beautifully worked set play.
Indeed, he has nailed that spot there. 13th try of the year. And such is Craig Bellamy's opinion of him, that straight back in the side he goes, even after a 48-2 win over Canberra.
Well, the Michaeli Ravalawa, the first error of the game, certainly proved costly. Back-to-back sets for the first time for a team, and the Melbourne Storm, after they spent a little time down here, come up with their first 4-pointer.
He's taken this back meanie about 24 metres. On the sideline here. He's 54% from the sideline this year. He's got that win, though, to contend with. That one strikes it low. And away. But it is Melbourne 4, Dragons 0. Matt Russell.
Melbourne Storm has scored the first try 20 times against the Dragons and only lost one of those 20 games, so a great omen for the visitors early on. Will Warbrick scored 4 tries this season against West Tigers. He scored a double against the Brisbane Broncos, so he can score in multiples. But when it comes to Melbourne's try scoring in recent times, last week against Canberra, 9 different try scorers, all with just the one, so they can also spread it around. They're a dangerous attacking team when they get going.
Yeah, just looking at the face on Matt Fernay, then he was surprised, he was shocked that the ball actually went across the face of Seve out to Will Warbrick. Wasn't ready for the cutout pass. Matt Fernay.
Another one for Jerome Hughes. That's 7 in 2 and a bit games.
Michael Blake, we're behind the line here. That's it.
So Melbourne have hardly, in fact, they haven't put a foot wrong yet.
Michael, get square.
Going to ground, and now Grant going for a run. A strong run it is. His first of the night.
Hold there. Go for you, milk in there, Harry. Don't grab him.
So you heard there, Peter Goff. That time he got Harry milking.
Last tackle, Marcus, lock in. Go.
So another effective set here for the Storm.
Yep.
And this floating close to touch. Tidy catch from Sloan, but pinned in the corner.
And the fact that he was so close to the sideline there did well to go to ground. Just catch the ball, go to ground, so you can't be taken across the touch line.
That's it. Hold on. Wait. Go. Christian, 10 metres.
They certainly don't need back-to-back errors.
Josh, hurry up.
So this is Matt Fernay now. Game number 50 for him. Debuted 2020 season. Ravalawa.
Christian, up now. Here and hold. Wait. Go for it.
Followed up by Laurie. It's a good, strong run.
Last tackle.
Penalty. That's very, very good here. The Dragons there. They will get an opportunity to put some attack on.
Harry Grant penalised there.
So let's see here. A little mustard on this at the end of the tackle.
Well, I think he had his arm in an awkward position, and
Wait for the tap, front foot.
the continuation of it was enough for the referee to penalise him.
Christian,
Let's see what the Dragons could throw at the Storm here.
Wait. Go one.
It's Frank Bolo. Thunders over the 20.
Tui off the ball, Josh Square. Hold. Wait. Go 2 early, Christian. Christian, you're linked in.
Hunt. Laurie. Handy pickup, not the easiest one to take there with Katoa and Grant in his face as Hunt now floats it across. Sully. Coates it raced in. Try line just in front of him. And Lyson in his 5th game. Hunt keeps it going. Michael Molo to Amar, and Sloan kept it going. A little off with his direction. Matt Fernay chopped down. This the last. Burns. Oh my goodness, Billy Burns just strolls over on the last tackle. And the Dragons hit back.
Clever play from Billy Burns. They were able to keep the ball alive. It was Max Fernay out of dummy half. Took a little space that was offered to him, and then he realised that it was 5th tackle, and he thought, well, I better get rid of the ball. Quick play the ball by Matt. Max out of dummy half, offloads the ball as the referee was calling 5th, and then everyone pushed to the sideline, the Melbourne Storm defence. Burns throws the dummy, and back-to-back sets for the Dragons, and they get their try too.
Yeah, score with their first chance. Sure, Burns was surprised how it opened up for him on the try line.
Well, he had Ben Hunt swinging around down that short side, and the defence all had eyes for Ben Hunt and forgot about the man with the ball.
Gould started at Penrith. He's been a regular in this side since round 19. And a good moment for him there. So Hunt, those stats, there was a fearsome wind in Cairns last week, made life difficult. And even with a breeze here, this one goes straight through. Although you see the effect there after the kick. But it's a Illawarra 6, Melbourne 4.
Well, I guess Billy Burns is fighting for a contract. He can do no better than score a try. See where he ends up in 2024.
Yeah, contract up. A few players with their contracts up. Of course, all trying to impress the new coach, Shane Flanagan. But that's a great hit back from the Dragons. Melbourne were doing everything right, and then one penalty conceded. And the wind.
Oh, gee, that's dangerous to let it bounce.
What a hold of that. Yeah. And it's a westerly, so it is heading that way.
Well, that very fortunate bounce there. That could have turned anywhere, that ball, once it hit the ground.
Stand together, Christian square. Go, no markers, Christian, 10 metres.
Yeah, Christian was called offside, and that's an easy one here. So another penalty conceded.
Well, he even gave him a warning. gave him a tip to stay out of it.
Make sure we're back on side here, guys.
The fact that Harry Grant couldn't get up and get to marker, he copped one in the eye, Harry Grant. He stayed on the ground. That left Christian Walsh on his own and just couldn't help himself.
Wait, Ellie. Hold the tap.
Now they're on their way again with another set inside Melbourne territories. We see what happened to Grant here. Friendly fire from Josh King, it looked like. The accidental poke in the eye. Amon at the line. Hunt keeps it going. Russell taking on Munster. Almost got through too.
Here on the left, Tui. That's it, Josh. Good work. Go, 3.
There's some real signs of encouragement here for the Red V. There's Amon.
Release now, square
Wrapped
marker.
up this time
Ellie,
with
push
2
up.
plays left. Malison. Laurie. Just getting them closer to the line for this last tackle.
Go on the mark, Blake.
It comes out now, Amon, the kick on the angle. Now Meany is gone. Meany concedes. This is good stuff from St George Illawarra.
He did well there. Talatau Amon just to throw the dummy, open up a little bit of space. He squeezed the ball through. The chase was deep though. Molo, the only one that got close to the football. Everyone else standing back, waiting for a pass, not the kick.
Time's off, stop the clock. Trainers asked for HIA.
Okay, so Grant, ooh, HIA for a poke in the eye. Okay, so the doctor's seen something he hasn't liked there. Harry Grant comes off. And just a little, geez, that must have been a nasty poke. So the shiner starting to form there. So that's a little concerning as to how he gets through the rest of the night, provided it just passes the protocol.
Make sure we stay on side here, guys. Stay on side.
Bronson Garlick started last week. Gets an early entry into this game. So Laurie here. Dragons here emboldened. Molo, Michael.
Christian off the ball. Square marker, Josh. Hold. Make sure you hold that, Tui.
Now followed up by Frank. There's a bit of space down the middle. Inside the 10. And falls on his front. Malison. Amon on the left this time. The double punt. Beautifully read by Hughes. Chopping down Burns. But 6 more tackles. Seve giving that one away. Malison there just has to catch that ball and concede the tackle. Oh, Welsh, plenty of niggle there. Even more niggle.
Infringement.
All of a sudden, Melbourne a bit tardy.
Let's go, Nick. Straight up.
Now that's tackle 1. Back to the left. Amon this time goes himself. Oh, he's so close. Welsh, crucial.
Go, 2.
Laurie for Hunt. Hunt. Oh, for Sloan. The subtlety, the guile, the try. Ben Hunt delays the pass. It's a perfect pass. And Sloan makes it 10 points to 4.
Well, Hunt held it up beautifully, but the man that did all the work was Tyrell Sloan. An amazing job to keep hold of that ball. It was slipping out. as he was taking it, the Melbourne Storm defence was arriving. Amon goes awfully close. Christian Welch there again. He's made some tackles already, Welch. Laurie, Hunt, and just holds it up, looking for someone to run on to the ball, and it was Tyrell Sloan. That ball was down near his hip, and he was somehow able to control it. Despite Liero attempting a tackle, he burst out of that one. Beat Nick Meaney with some footwork. Great stuff, Tyrell Sloan, and the Dragons turn possession and field position into points.
Well, 4-0 Melbourne, now the Dragons with a nice little buffer midway through this first half. In a season where there's been so much chopping and changing, this has been the one consistency. Tyrell Sloan has basically been given the season at fullback, and he's had plenty of good moments. The kick from Hunt. Again, that wind is fearsome, but gets it through. 12 points to 4, the Red V.
Modest crowd in at Wynn Stadium, but the Dragons, the home team, inviting the crowd into it. Craig Bellamy needs a drink. Tyrell Sloan, he's part of the future at St George Illawarra. He loves scoring at the southern end and punting the ball. Disappointed with that celebration. Normally he puts it over the top of the southern grandstand, but this is his true home ground. An Illawarra product now, 6 tries in 8 games at Wynn Stadium, Wollongong.
He's pretty to watch, isn't he, run? Like, he just glides and changes direction seamlessly, doesn't lose speed. And it's a beautiful running action he has. If someone can have a beautiful running action.
That's as elegant as it gets.
Yeah.
So Matt Fionney now bringing it up. Well, a test here for the Storm. Now the Titans shocked the Panthers early. Panthers steady. The Sully now finds some open space. There's Sloan again, and he's away. Now he comes to Meaney. Meaney just gets enough of him. But the Dragons still have 3 tackles left. Ravalawa, he can score from spots like that, but this time the Melbourne players are there. Scored a try like that against Parramatta, where he was a fair way from the line and just backed himself as Hunt. On to Maleisen. Amon. Here we go with Burns. Crucial work down low from Warbrick. Just stop play out there on the Dragons' left.
Yeah, they're moving this Melbourne Storm defence around. Great set off the back of points from the Dragons.
Sully contesting. Coates catches it. Now Melbourne have to roll their sleeves up. And they've done plenty of defending in these last 9 or 10 minutes. Meaney just outside the 10. Dragons last beat the Storm 2020. That was at Cogra. Ryan Carr. Hasn't his stocks elevated since taking over in round 12? Because the Dragons really have not put up the white flag. Now Munster. Now that win could make that even more difficult. Ravalawa, solid catch.
A monster kick there from Cameron Munster. That was only a 20-metre set from the Melbourne Storm. Had to work hard. Defence line from the Dragons moving very quick. So great set, and now a run from Fionney.
Michael Molo.
Very quickly they get up over halfway.
So we've seen a number of games turn this year for the Storm when that big unit comes into proceedings, and he's not far away. Here's footwork from Burns. Now it's Frank Molo. Another very good set.
Nothing late here.
And they get the finish right here. It's Hunt, not kicking. Sloan again. The stab kick, not particularly deep. Oh, Meaney holds on.
Stand now, got to hold. Wait.
And that pins.
That ball stayed low then. That was a tricky one for Nick Meaney. He was hoping it sat up, but stayed down low. Ravalawa was arriving very quickly.
And a clever kick. It pins Melbourne in the corner. So, again, they're stuck inside their 20 midway through the set.
Wait front foot.
It's on a player. Writhing.
Go 3.
And Munster
Up now, get square.
swallowed up by the markers.
Stay square, Michael.
Now Asima Solomona makes his entrance.
Last tackle, move.
And just shrugs off Russell. As Hughes, it's again plenty of height, not as much distance as that Munster kick. So the Dragons again, pretty decent field position. Even better now. Melbourne offside. Their frustrations continue.
And another set where they only travelled 25 metres, so they're finding it hard to get out of their own end and get any decent field position before they kick the ball. And there's, well, Munster's deep, so the whole side is offside. Only just shy, just over the 10. Only just over the 10.
So 3 penalties to 0, and the Dragons yet again start inside Melbourne territory. Well, all of a sudden, all you Cronulla fans watching this tonight just starting to get a little excited. Coming into the night, Cronulla in the top 4, thanks to that win over the Cowboys. For and against, very close between Sharks and the Storm. Now, Amo holds it up. And this time, it's Max Fiona. Back for Frank Molo. He has been strong. His 6th run. Molaison. Laurie. Sit back and wait. With 2 plays left. Molaison looks left. Comes to Hunt. Out for Amon. Delays his pass. Terrific legs tackle. Cuts that one off. Outside, inside. Amon is close. He got over. It's going to be a try. Well, no, it's not. Well, Peter Goff was set to blow the whistle then and point to the spot.
Got no try. The ball is grounded short. We're just looking at whether he maintains possession or whether the ball gets to the line. No way.
Well, it's going to be some desperate defence from Melbourne Storm that saves this one. Space opened up back on the inside. Amon comes through.
Little aspects of play leading
short.
up to this.
Does he bounce? Does he control
Loose
the
side
ball?
of the ball. The ball is initially short.
I can't even see the ball, but from just the way things transpired, I'm going to say
hard to imagine he can roll over, but
control of it.
It's
I think
close.
He's still got it.
Now, has he promoted the arm?
Well,
Momentum takes
speed to see whether momentum takes him in. Not
Junior Omane into the in-goal area, just seeing if the ball touches the line.
Well, Tui actually pushes him into the in-goal area. It's the force of Kamakamika. He's still got his arm around the ball. That is Amon's hand on the footy. And I think it's...
You think it's a try?
I think it's a try. I think he's controlled the ball, and I think it's on the line. And
Just checking for other angles to see if the ball makes the...
He's not... They're not going to go with this at this stage because they haven't seen the definitive angle of ball touching line.
Well, here it is. Well, that's the ball on the line.
Yeah, that's...
There.
Well,
that is on the line.
As you can see through the gap there, the ball is on the try line.
Oh, yes, it's a decision for the Dragons. This is starting to get serious for the Storm. The Dragons scored 3 on the trot.
Well, they've had plenty of ball, and it's been their defence that's forced the Melbourne Storm to kick from well within their 30. So their sets have been starting. They've been back over halfway very early in their sets. They've been putting together some good phases with the ball. Ben Hunt, nice little inside pass there to his 5'8" Amon, and does a remarkable job. Under the weight of Kamakamitha, he gets to the line. Kamakamitha actually drags him in. The weight of Kamakamitha helps the momentum of Amon, and Amon did a remarkable job to keep the ball under control.
Well, there you go. Tell Amon. That's a reward for him because terrific tonight. This time getting the try. I felt a blow-up coming next to me, Randy, if that wasn't given. Well, maybe some common sense shown.
Well, just open your eyes. You could see that the ball was on the line.
Come on. Didn't like the first angle and then went back and got it right. So Hunt, this one is most difficult and that one is most convincing kicks. So the Dragons 18-4. Big smile on Zach Lomax's face. Storm have not overcome a 14-point deficit to win in 6 years. They've got some work to do here.
A lot of time down this end of the footy field, but they can be happy with the way they're defending. Their kicking game's been good. They've been forcing the Melbourne Storm to bring it off their own line. They've been restricting the metres. And it's all working at the moment for the Dragons.
The Storm need a bit of good news, men, and Harry Grant has passed his HIA. That eye knock is clear to return.
Yeah, we don't like judging the HIAs because you never know, but that one looked pretty clear cut. It wasn't a concussion situation. They needed that, though.
Stand now.
So we'll see him shortly. Matt Russell on the sideline tonight. He's seeing a potential upset brewing. Still 54 minutes to go.
On the mark, Blake, on the mark.
This could really shake up the finals.
Trent Brunson up in square. That's it, Nelson. Hold.
There's Laurie again, rolling his sleeves up. Dragons 14 from 15 completions. There's Michael Molo brought down on tackle 5. Tom Eisenhuth into the game, as you can see. Hunt gives this plenty of air. Wynn just grabs it ever so slightly. Meany wrapped up, and that's as far up the field as the Melbourne Storm have started the set in a while. And they're only on their 20. And penalty.
Well, that's the first one of the match for the Melbourne Storm. So they've been given no
Onside here, guys.
easy way out of their own end until now, and Jerome Hughes drives one low and flat. Oh no!
Oh, so close.
Play the ball when you want it.
So close.
Yep. Where you are. Just come back, Blake. Blake,
Oh,
just
he
back
had it.
here. Play
He
the
had the
ball.
right idea. He just didn't get enough purchase on the tap back, Sloan.
Yep. Behind the line.
That's a telling statistic. It was Melbourne looking the goods early, just getting through their sets and seeming unperturbed.
Michael Dan up now. Go, one.
Massive Solomona followed up now by Munster, giving it to Hughes. And now he loves running it.
Back to me on the left.
But Burns wraps him up.
Dan.
Garlic dummy half. Eisenhuth. Stopped by Molaison, then Laurie and Michael Molo. 6 more. So a couple little breaks there going the Storm's way here. And that's 2 in a row. 2 in a row. With the cut top. Strong tackle from Burns. Eisenhuth, they stick to the middle here, Melbourne, knowing they've still got plenty of tackles left. Munster on the left, Hughes on the right. Meany wider, Warbrick on the wing, and the defence slides across perfectly. Back for Hughes. Garlic. Here's Munster. Liked what he saw in front of him, but Dan Russell coming up with the tackle, but another 6 again conceded. That's 3 in pretty quick time. Munster. That was well read by Sully and Hunt. Now a little dart from Tonamapaia.
Connor, Ben, let him up. Hold the line. Go 3. Needs to improve here, Ben.
Goff warning the Dragons' defence as it comes out here to Meany. 2 on 1. Here's Warbrick. He's number 2. Melbourne, you get the feeling they had to score next, and they've done just that.
Well, they had their first penalty of the match down the other end of the field. That gave them the out from their own end because they've been struggling to make ground. And then 3 set restarts, even though they were set restarts very, very early in the tackle count. That much possession down this end of the field, you just had a feeling that the Dragons' defence wasn't going to be up to it. And after they had a couple of cracks down that left-hand side, the big shift, Jerome Hughes ran the lines beautifully there. Just dragged in the outside defenders. Just watch, and out to Nick Meany. Quick pass. Fionney couldn't shut it down. and Warbrick scores his second try of the night. Boy, didn't they need it.
They really have found something on their right, the Dragons left. They keep peppering that side, and now they've had success a couple of times. So Warbrick for number 2, but still the Dragons with a very handy gap. Nick Meaney second on the point scoring tally in the NRL before this weekend. Zarko scored 11, so the gap is in the 20s now. And that one, that's a great. He's got it on radar now, even with the wind. He finds a way through. 18 points to 10, the Dragons.
Doesn't he bring plenty to this Melbourne team, Nick Meaney? The last pass here gives him a try assist tonight, 10 try assists for the season now. To go with his 10 tries, there's Will Warbrick feeding on the good work of Nick Meaney, and the discussion will ramp up this week. Ryan Pappenhausen due back next weekend when Melbourne play the Gold Coast Titans. Where to for that man on screen who's done everything he can to stay in the 17 and give Craig Bellamy plenty of happy headaches.
Oh, I think he's got to stay in the 17. I think he's been one of their better attackers this year, and Matty just read out his try assists. He scored 10 tries himself. He's been a consistent performer for the Melbourne Storm in a season where they as a team haven't been that. No, I think he's too good a player not to be part of that 17.
Well, there's been discussion, hasn't there, that Pappenhausen could come back as a super sub, as your number 14. And remember, he came to Melbourne primarily as a winger, but we've got Warbrick. Clearly, Craig Bellamy a massive fan of his, and also Xavier Coates. So it's one of the more pleasant problems to have, but it is somewhat of a dilemma. Kartai can offload, but wrapped up here. Now as for Solomona. Morrison there, strong tackle. So Hughes again gets plenty of height on it. Tyrell Sloan just over the 20. Working up the middle here. This is Ryan Couchman. So we've seen a lot of Toby. Ryan playing his 3rd game. There's another Ryan, quite frustrated. And Dan Russell driving Liero and Munster back. So Hunt eventually goes with the traditional end over and kick. Oh, Coates wants no part of it. Now Hunt follows through. Can't quite get it right, rushing it through the second time.
Stand there, Ben. Don't play it on him.
Mild escape there for the Storm. There's Coates now away from Burns.
Bit of a strange play just to allow the ball to bounce. No one went for it. The Dragons players didn't go for it. Melbourne Storm, you would think, given the opportunity there, you try and shut things down and don't allow the ball to bounce.
So Garlick with early ball. Munster, a couple of dummies. Plenty of elastic on those shorts. Grant back in the game and immediately threatens with a lovely pass to Meaney. And Meaney gets up, goes again. That's play on. Qatar. The floater. Warbrick with space. Warbrick pins the ears back. Warbrick's got 3. Will Warbrick thunders his way to the corner for a first half hat-trick. Oh boy, he can play, Will Warbrick. What a terrific run.
Well, when the ball was floated over the top to Will Warbrick, he was still a long way from the try line, and you were wondering, and I guess Will Warbrick was wondering, where is the Dragons' defence? Down that short side, nice dummy half play from Harry Grant. Just gets Nick Meaney into some space. They get it out through Garlick, and Katoa throws the lofted pass, and then Ramon's there, but then he's not there. And Tyrell Sloan's there, but he's not there either. Neither player really putting their bodies on the line to try and stop Will Warbrick, who was just running down the sideline waiting.
It's almost like you can
takes
see
off. Look, here, Amone had him, and then all of a sudden Warbrick accelerated and Amone was left clutching.
It's like you could see his mind change there, Warbrick. It dawned on him, hang on, I'm a chance here.
See, Amone's just trotting across, and you thought, well, he catches the ball, Warbrick, got a long way to go. Amone's got him sized up, then accelerates and just leaves Amone in his wake, and Tyrell Sloan. One thing he has shown, Tyrell Sloan, is that he's not the best fullback defensively. There's some issues, and Sloan's brilliant on his feet, but a body check, throw your body at the man and just try and put him into touch. You might be able to make a regulation tackle, but put your body on the line and knock him sideways half a yard and you've done the job.
And that left side again, probably no surprise for you Dragons fans, that's been a real problem this year. The left side has conceded double the amount on the right side. Matt Russell with the score 18-14.
Let's relive Will Warbrick's 3 first-half tries. I mentioned he scored 4 earlier this season against West Tigers. What's to say he can't go to that mark and beyond this evening? The last couple of tries for Melbourne, here they are looking very easy, and Will Warbrick on the end of both of them. Got to remind ourselves, he's only in his first year of NRL. Stuck his hand up in the pre-season challenge, said, watch me with some great performances. This is game 21. He's gone to 15 tries. A fellow who played Australian rules football in New Zealand, believe it or not, then rugby union, now to rugby league. The great game is glad to have him.
He's an all-rounder, that's for sure. So the game has turned here. They needed to hit back with a vengeance, the Storm, and they've done just that. Grant out of dummy half. Well, the impact he's made since returning has been stark. So Garlick now playing the role of ball runner there. There's Nelson, Matua.
Whenever you don't get 2 markers, Harry Grant's gone. And he always beats that single marker with speed. He's got enough speed to just burn a marker.
So this brings Sloan forward. He's got to get the ground, and does, but now it's the Dragons who have some tough carries ahead. Well, 18-4 at one point to the big underdogs. Still on top. Blake Lawrie. His 11th run. This is Ryan Couchman. His brother turns 20 next month. Ryan, his 3rd game. Punched out 51 last week, 51 minutes against South. Meany looking at the defence. Can't see any gaps there. A pretty good field position here for the Storm. Xavier Coates now goes straight through. Xavier Coates into the backfield. Oh, gets through Sloan as well. Hunt is chasing, but Xavier scores again. Right wing, but it's the left winger who gets over. And Xavier Coates ties us up.
Hasn't had much work to do down that left side because it has all gone to the right. Will Warbrick scoring a first-half hat-trick. Xavier Coates comes midfield to have a run, and that has highlighted some defensive deficiencies in the Dragons there. Bursts through the front line, sidesteps the fullback, and has enough speed to get himself into the corner. Billy Burns low, Couchman high. They both miss. Tough one for Tyrell Sloan, but no body on the line there either. Lots of hands, and Ben Hunt doing his utmost to try and dislodge the ball, but just can't get close enough.
Well, we're seeing the very good and the very bad of the Dragons, aren't we, tonight? A sparkling run, 3 tries in 13 minutes, but the Storm have returned serve with 3 tries in 8 minutes. And Coates, there you go, first try against the Dragons. 13th for the year.
Well, quite a reply from the Melbourne Storm, who've found themselves in, well, a spot of bother, down 18-4. and really being dominated by the Dragons, who had answers to everything.
So Meany, they're not making it easy for this man. They keep scoring in that right corner.
Melbourne get their first penalty of the night, and off the back of that have not looked back.
No, it just took one moment. So Meany 1 for 3. It's actually 4 tries to 3, despite the tied score. And that one is close. It's there. So the Storm, in the space of 9 minutes, have gone from 14 down. Has that been cleared, or is that waved away? That looked, it was good from the angle we had.
Here's the run from Xavier Coates. Just a bit of footwork.
It's a misconversion. So,
yep, 18 all.
18 apiece. Let's put my glasses on as we watch this.
Just on the outside.
Oh, that's one of those, yes, nervy ones. Tucks in behind.
Stay behind you.
There we go. I'll be at OPSM on Monday.
Also some glasses laying around here now.
Well, they're clearly not working, Brandy. We need to go the stronger variety. So Liero.
Stand down, Blake, on the mark, Trent.
We got to say, Brandy, 18 all feels about right, doesn't it? If it's the classic game of 2 halves. Grant. Oh, might have another one in them here if the Dragons aren't careful. Cut top. Now it's Hughes for Munster. Konamapaya. 15 seconds to go. So 1 play left now from here. Munster. Oh, he goes for 2. Not quite. You can't say that wasn't an entertaining first half. Melbourne overcoming that 14-point deficit to leave us nicely poised at 18 points all. And despite the comeback, you wouldn't imagine there'd be a smile on the face of Craig Bellamy. For those just tuning in who may have been elsewhere, it was Storm scoring first. Dragons then scored 3 in 13 minutes. And then Melbourne 3 just before half-time. Funny old game. And the second half underway.
Front foot. Wait. Go. Just play the ball, Blake. Right.
So St George Illawarra here with Matt Fionney. They have 1 win against a top 8 side this year. That was South Sydney during the Origin period. This would be the signature if they were to knock off the Storm here. Storm playing for top 4. Ryan Couchman.
Last tackle, Nelson now. Tom square.
Completion rate's outstanding. In fact, Melbourne perfect. 19 from 19. Dragons only the 2 failed completions. Meany. Almost up to his 30.
That's it. Here and off. Front foot. Wait. Go.
He's the man that scored the last try, Coates. And that's a pass that had some Dragons players in the crowd murmuring.
On the mark, Young. Go. 3.
Now comes here to Garlick. Away from Burns eventually.
Release Billy now. Square Max.
Max Fionney there, closing that down. Eisenhuth on tackle number 5. So again, a steady set here. 20 from 20 now, the Storm. Once this is cleared away, which Hughes does. And here, another penalty here. That is the second time Peter Goff has pinged the kicking team. And that gets the Dragons out of a potential little jam. Let's go to Matt Russell on the sideline.
Back to basics, really, from both coaches at half-time. St George Illawarra first, Ryan Carr urged his men to keep believing in themselves. He said, you showed for the first 25 minutes what ball and territory can do. Go out there and attack the game. When it came to Craig Bellamy, he asked his side to control the middle, own the ruck before you go too wide. Don't worry about taking another 20 minutes in this game to set up the finish.
Thank you, Matt.
Well, the Melbourne Storm were perfect in the first half, 19 of 19, and through that period, even though they had very little ball, they didn't make any errors, and that probably kept them in the game and allowed, you know, and didn't give the Dragons more opportunities to score tries. So,
and only 6 missed tackles for the Storm, but 4 line breaks. So when they did miss one, they were made to pay. Here's Hunt. Thank you for Russell. 27-year-old from PNG, getting a fair bit of experience these last few weeks in the top grade. Out it comes to Armone, cops one as he gets rid of it. Max Fionney wrapped up. Here's Hunt kicking towards Fionney's side. Warbrick's dropped it. Burns is over! Dragons, a perfect start to the second half. Well, Burns gets a second. Right place, right time.
He's a bit of an all-rounder, Billy Burns. He's got the knack of coming up with some special plays that you don't not necessarily regard as back rower plays, but stays alive here. We'll just check, as long as Fionney didn't get a touch to the ball first.
He's not far off, is he?
Before Warbrick did. No, they both went up for the ball. And then Billy Burns is in a position, does a great job to get it down. McMeany was all over him.
Doesn't look that close there, Matt Fionney, from the last couple of angles we've seen.
And we thought with all the momentum the Storm's way going into half-time, the Dragons needed to be first to score just to give them a lift.
Ben Hunt's been nervously looking at the big screen here, just hoping this gets confirmation. As yet, we still wait.
Yeah, hard to tell back on shot how close Fionney was to Warbrick and his hands to the ball.
So now, Peter Goff talking to Ben Huntley, having another look. That left hand, has it just got a little piece of it? The longer this goes, the bigger the problem it is for the Dragons. Although, try confirmed. And Ben Hunt pleasantly surprised there. He'd almost conceded there. And they are ruling he touched it, Fionney, but went backwards.
That's certainly how it looked, didn't it? In the end, it was quite clear that Fionney did that left hand snuck in between the arms of Will Warbrick and definitely got a touch to it, but they've ruled it to go on backwards. So Billy Burns scores the opening try of the second half, Dan, and if Ben Hunt can add the 2.
And that one never looks like missing. Dragons 24, Melbourne 18.
Is Billy Burns making himself the story tonight? He scores his second try. You touched on it, from the park spaceman. The 24-year-old comes to Penrith. He comes to St George Illawarra, but sees infrequent NRL because of a range of reasons. But now he's on a nice string of consistent first-grade games. A double tonight, just his second in the top grade. Billy Burns.
Well, it's the sort of form you want to show if you're looking for a contract, and that's the case with Billy Burns, who's got some ability.
Well, he'd only played 2 games, first 18 rounds, 4 games all of last year, so a crucial period here, 6th game in a row. His other double was way back in 2019. That was his second game as a Penrith Panther. Well, that just changes the complexion here. This is Ben Murdoch-Masila. Zuli. Now Ryan Couchman. Ooh, threatens there, just held down by Eisenhuth around the ankles. So some wobble on this kick, but no problem for Coates.
He got it out to the 32. Good meters after contact there from the big winger.
Here's an early spread. Hughes, collared there by Amon. Hughes thought it was penalty worthy. And a wry smile from the Melbourne halfback. As Warbrick crashes into the defence. 6 more tackles. Look at a replay there.
Well, he probably copped a couple.
We've seen how important 6 agains and penalties have been. This is back-to-back set restarts given away by the Dragons. Munster doesn't put his stamp on this game, not yet anyway. Eisenhuth up to the 20. Grant fires it left. Munster. Russell down low. Short side play, the crash play for Liero. There is one after this.
Ooh, he nearly tipped himself into the in-goal area there.
So now hang on, we're going to go back and do this again.
I think he wants to play the ball on the whistle.
Now the little grubber, and coming through is Garlick. Sloan was in the right position.
Well, he was up on the line. He was on the try line, but he ran. And he got there very quickly, Tyrell Sloan.
Make sure we stay on side.
Grant trying to fool them with that play a little different from what it looked like they had in mind before referee Peter Goff pulled them up, the Storm, to do it again. And happy to back their defence here, St George Illawarra. Spent a lot of time behind on the scoreboard, Melbourne. Tommy Eisenhuth, 5th year at the Melbourne Storm. Hughes has got something in mind. Just happy to dump it off for Garlick. Hughes again. Back inside for Eisenhuth. Crafty tackle, Couchman. Grant for Hughes. Now the kick. Warbrick looking for number 4. We've made a mess of it, the Dragons. Dragons knock on.
First off the knees and it's lost on the ground. Knock on.
Might have been the kick that was in mind for Hughes in terms of execution, but a very good result.
Yeah, that's certainly not what he had in mind to start with. The play out the back was, I think, the intention, and then a space opened up and he rolled the ball through, and Billy Burns just went to pick it up, and Seve was able to track it with his foot, and that was the little knock on there from the Dragons.
Yeah, no question there. By the way, keep in mind, no challenges as yet tonight, so one apiece from A. Grant from the back. Ooh, Sevan opened up, but just closed down. Amon crucial with first contact. Now it's Melbourne. Pressing. Grant. Katoa. Well read.
Let him up now. Stay square. Hold the line. Back foot. Hold. Wait. Go.
It's been the Warbrick side. They've really profited as they just set it up here.
Hold the line. That's right.
With Grant going to the right. Hughes. No look pass. Katoa. Too strong. Eli Katoa. Off the back of a Jerome Hughes pass. And Melbourne reply to the Dragons try and could tie things up.
Yeah, there was a Dragons defender rushed out to the line to try and shut it down before Jerome Hughes passed the ball, but he was able to slip a short one there to Eli Katoa, and it was a moan. Just opened up the space. Max Fionney coming in to try and make a legs tackle. Not successful, fell off, and Billy Burns just outsized on the try line there. Eli Katoa, big ball runner, crashes through, and then that's too much work for Billy Burns and the other Dragons to hold him up.
So Eli Katoa, who did have an eye problem, they actually kept him out for 5 weeks mid-season. That one there, hopefully that's just a nick, and they can clean that up.
I think what we saw from Eli Katoa at the Warriors, everyone knew he was going to be a good signing after back rowers departed.
Wonderful
Melbourne Storm.
Wonderful first year there, and then tapered off a bit, but back to close to his best. And Meany, oh, the wind gets a hold of that, but still tucks inside the upright. 24 points apiece.
Yeah, the wind as strong as it's been all night. A westerly howling across the ground. Look at Eli Katoa back into the NRL after that eye injury and back as a try scorer. Strange old game. The Dragons skipping clear in the first half. The late rally to make it 18-all at the break now. A try each since the resumption. What sort of winning total are we looking at in Wynn Stadium?
Melbourne have been in a game like this year, one of these kooky games. That was round 3 against the Gold Coast. They lost 38-34. Long time ago. But there's been a couple of occasions this year they've really let in some points. Tepo Morai into the game. And the Melbourne Storm, you know the story, they need to win to stay in the top 4 where they started the weekend. Remember, they got Brisbane in round 27 up at Suncorp Stadium. So they can't let games like this slip. This helps. High tackle.
Well, they've had a number of set restarts, but this only their second penalty to the Melbourne Storm. And the arm started high, didn't drop, and contact was around the chin.
Yeah, Musgrove hasn't been on for long, but it could be costly.
Nothing like coming on and giving a penalty away.
Well, at least he can be comforted by the fact that kick went about 3 metres forward, if that. Here's Hughes. Meany, a little loose, but finds Warbrick. And staying down there, Marion Sever, and they're going to play the penalty that he was taken out. So a little bit of concern here for Marion Sever.
So the ball from Nick Meany, did it touch Marion Sever as it went across him? Did that change the trajectory of the ball? Fernandez just come off his wing and put a shot on someone he thought was going to get the pass.
But this is interesting. They're on the side of the ground where it's a pretty stiff wind towards the Western Grandstand.
What are you thinking?
Well, how much ground can they find here? There we go. As Matty told us, it's really stiffened up here. Need to touch careful, although then it gives it the lot and makes about 30 metres. So there you go. There you go. That's into the wind. It's one of the great kicks, Brandy. One of the great kicks.
You're on the money there.
Going to go to OPSM tomorrow. That's for not Monday. Now here's Tom Eisenhuth.
Up there on 2. Here and hold. I guess defensive. Go 2.
Munster. Oh, cops on there. Legal tackle.
Here we are, Jacob. Front
He's in the
mate.
back from Musgrove, and Musgrove letting him know about it. Moroa. Now the double cutout with Meany running out of space, but still shakes off Sully. There's Munster. Floating. Shakes off Burns. Jacob Little into the game and helping make that tackle. Another kick here. Oh, awkward, and it's taken. It's another Eli Katoa try. Jerome Hughes cannot do a thing wrong right now. He has got it on a string.
And it's an underrated kicking game Jerome Hughes has. And not only can he kick it long, but he's got great touch. Hughes, another try assist, and dinks it into no man's land. And if you get the bounce, you get the result, and that's exactly what happened there in between the fullback and the winger. Matt Fionney couldn't get there. The bounce was perfect for Eli Katoa, but off the back of a very clever kick from Jerome Hughes. Real touch kick, that one.
Well, his third try assist come in different ways. That's 9 try assists in 3 games. Katoa not only gets a double, but he gets them in a very short space of time.
So the Storm jump back into the lead again, 28-24, kick to come. We spoke about Jerome Hughes pre-match, just as they ran onto the field, and I was talking about his attacking numbers, Dan, and they're so far in front of any other of the Melbourne Storm players. It's quite remarkable, really. He's had 3 try assists tonight, which takes his total for the year to 22 try assists. He scored 6 tries himself, made 8 line breaks, 50 tackle busts, 22 line break assists. The nearest one to him is Cameron Munster with 12 try assists, 10 less.
So Mooney again letting the wind do the work. 30 points to 24, the Storm in front for the first time since the 13th minute.
Eli Katoa, 3 years, a Warrior. This is his first at the Melbourne Storm. A try-double in quick time. His first double since his only double, September 2020 against Manly in Gosford. And he goes over again here in 2023 for his second career double. Well done, Eli Katoa. Well done, Melbourne Storm in front.
Well, he is a line-breaking back rower, isn't he? Eli Katoa coming into the game, 10 line breaks for the season. He'd only scored 3 tries, so you can add to that tally, and the line breaks go up. But he is that tackle-busting back rower that they needed, and they picked him up from the Warriors, and I think everyone said, wow, that is a smart buy.
And here he is now. So here's Garlick for Munster. Munster for Meany. Tanamapaya on the outside of Sully. Now the defence slides across to close down Coates quickly. And they keep Coates up. Flag is raised. And that looks like it's a win for the Dragons.
Well, did they keep him moving, or was there a stage where his momentum stopped and that was it? Or did they keep him going? Ben Hunt just kept at him until Ravalawa arrived again. And they needed a result, the Dragons. They get it.
Did his buttock hit the ground there? Anyway, no challenge. Remember, neither reviews. So Dragons now get an attacking opportunity. This is the sort of game they'll probably score straight away. Here's Little, he'll be nice and fresh. Down the short side with Russell.
Up there, Cameron. Here and hold on 2. Wade, go 2.
Here's Hunt. Musgrove chopped down quickly by Moroa. Again, it goes left side, this time Amone. That was a loose one from Little.
Yeah, it wasn't a great set there, Dragons. They can save it with a good kick.
Amone poised on the left. Puts it along the ground, and now Hughes doing it in defence. Snuffs that head very quickly.
Just jumped out of the line. Read the kick was coming from Amone. Jumped out of the line to clean it up.
Let him up, get square. Oh, wait, Zane, wait, go 2.
Oh, Warbrick, powerful. And a pretty sharp play the ball. That allows Meany to run out of dummy half.
Jacob Van Hunt,
We've had 10 tries and we're only 59 minutes in.
Nothing late here.
Melbourne 6 of them, Dragons 4. Sloane brings it back here for the Red V. So 18 all at the break, and the tries have kept coming. Tomorrow, wow, what a game. Newcastle versus South Sydney. We'll talk about Melbourne trying to stay in touch and stay in the top 4. That's a top 8 battle, that one, Newcastle and the Bunnies.
So much on the line tomorrow up there in Newcastle.
And not just those two teams, but teams all around them. Oh, look at this man, Burns gallivanting downfield. Now Little, hard back on the inside, Sloane, the chip kick, here comes Russell, oh, batted away. Big save by Coates.
Well, Russell almost getting there. I thought the ball was bouncing towards Tyrell Sloane, the kicker. Here it is, Billy Burns, what a game he's having. A couple of tries, breaking tackles, making line breaks, getting offloads, inside ball from Hunt to Sloane.
Make sure we're on side here, guys.
Ball bounces, but Xavier Coates' desperation saves it for Melbourne. Short kick.
Easily crosses the 10. Falls into the hands of Max Fiona.
Release Christian.
Crowd into it again. Welsh in no hurry to let Fiona play.
Well, it should have been a set restart.
Now Frank Molo, so one of the big units back for their second stint. Ryan Couchman. Musgrove the decoy. In fact, it goes from Hunt. Oh, the slingshot. Moses Sully.
Great legs tackle, Harry Grant.
Now another crash play. It's Molo, Frank, almost. Welsh over the top. King down low. Last play. Hunt through the hands. Amone, extravagant. Now Fiona in trouble. Melbourne did not panic. Warbrick comes up with the last tackle. And the Dragons cough it up.
He's not happy about something. He should be happy about some of the defence that just occurred on their line. Amone going for the long ball, but didn't fool anyone. Well, Will Warbrick was standing there waiting for it. Certainly not the play. But a couple of big stops there. Harry Grant on Moses Sully when he came back on the inside. Christian Welsh shutting down Molo on the try line.
There it goes to Tomo Paya. As you know, all the press conferences afterwards live here on Fox League. And
Cooper Cronk, Mal Meninga.
That's right.
Bonnie.
Just thinking right now of, oh, there's a steal! Jacob Little. Fifth steal of the year for the Dragons. They're pretty good at that. And an extra tackle as well. Well, just a little twist in this game. As we look here, Josh King, yoink.
Great strip, Jacob Little.
So Hunt now for Amone.
It's all a long way from the defensive line, that.
Laurie is taking those meters. Gets inside the 30. Tackle 5 with Little to Sloane. Sully again, and again covered pretty well. Tunamapaya down low, and Munster up there. Miero as well. Last tackle. Sloane, rather Amone on the angle. It comes away to Burns, keeps it alive. Here's Ben Hunt. Here's Ben Hunt. Knocked down. Try-saving play by Seve. Matt Fiona was going to go over in the corner.
First knock on Melbourne.
But they save it only just. The Storm.
Well, they did, as we watch Ben Hunt, Amone out there to Billy Burns again. An offload from Burns. The dummy into some space. Seve, Marion knocks the ball down.
So 10 metres out. Now the Dragons enjoying a good period. Can they cash in?
Well, I think Ben Hunt needs to start throwing a few more dummies, see how effective that was.
Stay in there, Jacob. Pull in. Christian, head in. Break.
Clone, the skip. Oh, slipping over Tonamapaya. Sully. Oh, the scramble was excellent for Melbourne. Munster and Liero again combining, this time with the help of Welsh. A lot of touches for Tyrell Sloan tonight, with Laurie now.
Josh King, let him up. On two, hold the line.
Wrapped up as they open up the left. Hunt. Another crash play. Molo cut down. Little back to the right. Slowly for Hunt. This is broken down. It's going to be tackle 4. Now it's Hunt. Double cut out. Sully eventually gets to Ravalawa. Oh, no way. No way. It's coming out here, and they're going to have a look. Peter Goff was standing back there. And
come to 5.
Surely there's part of him that went out.
You would have to think. I mean, you never know with these wingers,
especially this winger.
but also probably smart to go upstairs, because
Just look at the right foot of Michaeli Ravalawa.
it'll be a different result if it's into touch or knocked on.
He will take on anyone down a sideline. There, foot's out.
It makes contact with the touchline. We have a decision.
Well, of the two, that's a better result for the Dragons. It means Melbourne start on their 10 and only get the regulation set. 14 minutes 50 to go.
It doesn't matter how little room he's got down a sideline. He will go for the corner. But Xavier Coates up to it. He had Cameron Munster in front of him too. He got out of that one.
See if he got it down.
Xavier Coates. No.
Well, it was exciting. So not going away, the Dragons. It's Tui Kamikamitha to come back in. Tipa Maroa. This is another contest where the Dragons are really in it. This is 4 games in a row where they haven't let things get too out of hand, even though they have conceded 6 tries tonight. Melbourne get through another set. The completion rate is over 90%. Ravalawa, powerful, but doesn't go too far. That's textbook from Melbourne. They've gone from 10 out from their own line to 10 metres from the other team's defensive try line. Sully, well handled here by the Melbourne defence. Now Laurie into Welsh, should stop Cole. Ramon out to Burns. Defence retreats. Burns rolled over.
Squarely, hold, no, nothing late here.
So Ramon again doing the kicking. As Coates carries it back. So delicately poised here. Logic tells you Melbourne will go on here, but you just can't be sure tonight. Meany. Oh, there's Warbrick.
Acceleration.
Off a fumble, he still barges it up for nearly 20 metres. Here's Hughes for Kamikamitha. Pushing away Burns. Getting it to the 30. So Hughes this time puts the kick in. It's Munster chasing. Sloan turned around. Sloan work to do. Avoids the ankle tap and gets into the field of play. It's a nice round of applause from the Wollongong faithful.
He had to backtrack and then get away from Cameron Munster after retrieving the ball and did well.
Now they've got a problem here. So often in the first half, they were aided by penalties, but no, it's put down by Hunt. He's had a mental lapse.
Did that ball get stuck on Ravalawa's foot there? What happened? You'll see the kick from Jerome Hughes. Just lobbed it over the head of Tyrell Sloan, who just gets out with ease. It glides in the in-goal area.
Oh, yeah.
Kayla.
Well, that's cruel on Ben Hart. He hasn't done much wrong there. If the result's the same, though, that could be a hammer blow.
Yeah, big set defensively here for the Dragons.
Billy, get tight. Billy, get it. Come on, tight. Ball in. And hold it. Break.
Straight away out to the left side. That's the Xavier Coates wing, but Tonamapaya bringing it back.
Hold the line here. That's it, Francis. 1 foot. Go, 1.
Kamitha.
Move now, Francis. Let him up.
Two props combined. Molo and Laurie. Munster to King. Harmon all over him. King given no space.
Straight up, Junior. Hold down. Wait on 3. Go 3.
The conservative stuff so far. What have they got in mind here? Munster sideways. Coates cutting back.
Blake, let him up. One step there. Go.
Grant surmising. Back for Kamikamitha.
Last tackle moves over.
Terrific tackle around the legs. Is now Hughes, the chip. Warbrick on that side. And crowd wanting Seve punished on a couple of counts there. So the Dragons survive. They've ticked that box.
They had to, Dan. They just couldn't allow the Melbourne Storm to jump either by 10 or 12, which would be comfortably their biggest lead of the game. They stay in it. 10 to go.
Sloan. Will Grant down. He's had a rough night. A poke in the eye. Now this across to Warbrick. He's from inside the 40, but no threat.
Stand there on the mark. That one, Zane, not square, Zane.
Looking a bit there, Grant. So let's see what happened here as Melbourne cross halfway.
He had Christian Walsh fall on him from a height.
Now it comes to me. Linking up in the area. Feeding it on to Coates, but Coates has to get the ground. Not this time for the Dragons. Kamikamitha. That's the 30.
Jacob middle. Go.
Hughes. Warbrick. Oh, he was bumped off that. But the referee satisfied. Max Fionney held his line. So they just can't shake the Dragons off. They're not really a field goal team either the Storm. 6 the margin, 8.5 to play. Musgrove running wide. Grant read that, but Little still gets it away. Murdoch Masilla over halfway. Here's Hunt. They sit back and wait on him. Matoa eventually brings him down, but the ball keeps going. This is, touch. That's handy. That's very handy. Murdoch Masilla there.
Go 0 tackle.
And a good look at Tonamapaya. Laurie now down the middle. Can they get things back square, the Dragons? Burns for Hunt. Hunt slipped away from Seve. It eventually finds Fionney. Still 4 tackles left. And just a settler here with Laurie. You see Hunt there. He's on the left, but it comes to Amon. Back inside for Musgrove. Oh, wonderful tackle by King. That had to be made. Little. 6 more tackles. Now that's come free.
I thought he lost the ball.
He's lost that ball.
Clearly lost the ball.
Anyway, would have come back as a penalty because those defenders were the ones punished.
Tui, let them up. Hold them now. Back foot. Go, two.
So here's Laurie. That's a wasted play.
Well, they've got to do more than that, the Dragons.
Hold the line. Go, three.
Hunt now floating to the right. Linking up with his halves partner. Amon. Suli gets it on. Ravalawa. He's over. Michaeli Ravalawa gives the Dragons a chance to tie it. They just continue to hang in, the Dragons.
They kept it in tight for a couple of plays early, and then the shift to the right to that man, Michaeli Ravalawa. Ben Hunt involved, out to Amon. Nice ball to Suli, and Suli's able to, they're able to isolate young Tonamapia. The legs tackle allowed Suli to get his arms free, throw the ball out to his winger, and just a little bit of stutter step there from Ravalawa beat Cameron Munster, who was coming across after being engaged by Talatau Amon, and Ravalawa sneaks down that touchline, scores the try that gives them a chance now to level up. Big kick from the sideline coming.
Well, this is where they would so dearly love to have Zach Lomax. His kicking had improved the few weeks before his injury, but it's Ben Hunt. You wouldn't think the moment would grab hold of him here. The question, can he steer this through from the sideline with the wind to contend with?
There is their regular goal kicker, Zach Lomax. He's got that westerly to contend with.
This is a big moment for Ben Hunt. We don't know how long left he's got here at this club. This to tie us up. And that, the wind doesn't do enough there. That one not close, but they've got 5 minutes. Melbourne are getting a hell of a scare here in Wollongong, 30-28.
Ryan Carr on his feet, the coach edgy Mika Ravalawa to 20 tries for the season. The first Dragon to reach that mark since Brett Morris in 2010. Isn't it a great go for the Ken Irvine medal in 2023? Alex Johnson, Martin Hayes, Lesniak, Asako, Dom Young, and that man on screen. But he's not thinking about Ken Irvine medal. He's thinking about winning this game inside the final 5.
Thank you, Matt. 5 tries Melbourne have conceded. Have they got one more than the Dragons?
Up now, Tom. Here and hold. Front foot. Wait. Hold Josh. Go on.
Conservative to start.
Now, get square, Tom. Hold.
Murdoch Masilla. He's happy to catch and pass. That's 3 plays gone.
Trent release. Wait.
They're not going to get many chances here. Maybe 3, you would think, at best.
Move now, hurry. Here we go, Jerome. Front foot. That's it, Chewy. Go.
Now Hunt, is this the shot? Is this the shot? Sloan coming through. Sloan takes it. Magnificent. Now the level. Out it goes to Burns. He won't have the pace. Oh, and then he loses the ball as he went to ground. They would have had one more tackle.
Oh, what a trick play there for the man, Tyrell Sloan, with the speed to get in behind the defence. Magical stuff from the Dragons. Little to Burns. Realises, and just as he's looking to find some support, it was Bronson Garlick who made the tackle and forced the error.
It was Murdoch Masilla, who obviously wouldn't have had the pace, but he would have taken some stopping if that pass hit the mark. Melbourne giving all they can handle right now. Kamikamitha. Powers over halfway. King, 1 out. What you'd expect with the game so precariously poised. Now the kick here from Hughes. They let Warbrick catch it, and he duly obliged for the Dragons by knocking it forward. And that's a 0 tackle. That could be handy, that extra one. But again, they've got a lot of ground to cover here, the Dragons. They waited till play 5 to make their move last time. Sloan. You sense he's going to have to be part of it, don't you? Oh, what a shot! And now Hughes is going to run away. Eli Katoa with a wonderful tackle. And it's Jerome Hughes to finish the game. Melbourne come up with a big play just when it's required. Eli Katoa, that was an awesome tackle, and it turns out to be a game-clinching tackle.
Yeah, a couple of important tries from Eli Katoa tonight. Ben Hunt drifting across the field. Katoa, bang, levels Ben Hunt, forces the ball free. His opposite number, Jerome Hughes, is there to swoop on it, but he didn't see that coming at all. Katoa up quick.
And it's appropriate, really, two of Melbourne's key players tonight have a big part. Katoa with the tackle and Hughes with the finish. And the Dragons are going to fall just short again. Really has been the story of the last month. But Melbourne will go back into the top 4. They've got away with one here.
Well, they've had to fight hard, haven't they? The Dragons took it to them. Led 18-4 at a stage in the first half before giving up the last 3 tries of the opening 40 minutes to go to the break all square. And
that tackle was like another former Melbourne second row called Kofusi.
Yeah, out of the line. He just saw Hunt drift across a yard or 2 further than he should have gone and accelerated into the tackle. Meany kicks the goal.
Well, in the end, they don't really matter how they got there. Craig Bellamy said at halftime, no smile on the faces. No way there's going to be a smile there tonight. But that will please him no end, that play.
Eli Katoa get a try assist for that shot that allows Jerome Hughes to race away. You're right, Dan. Melbourne Storm back into the top 4. The Dragons now with work to do to avoid their first wooden spoon, just a win clear of West Tigers. Jerome Hughes, 2 try assists and a try. You know, he and Cam Munster so good together, and here's the short kick off.
Yeah, it comes away here. Well, everything's got to go right now. This is the start of it. Max Fino getting it on to Murdoch Masilla. It's this sort of game they probably will score and give us a grandstand finish.
All the way back to me, back to me.
And don't forget, penalty goal could come into play here as well.
Josh King, hurry now.
The teams often take it down by 8 with a minute left on the clock. Hunt. Amon. Sloan. Oh, his winger was unmarked, and he's lost the ball as well. That's a shame for Tyrell Sloan. But hang on, he's going to challenge this. Matt Thiernay had open space in front of him.
Well, we've waited 79 minutes for the captain's challenge. She's come out, and the Dragons need a result if there to be any chance. Warbrick,
just looking at
great
the
defence there.
Ball on
Shape
the
to go
right hand of
outside.
He loses possession and it makes contact with the shoulder of Will Warbrick.
It
which
does.
is a knock on.
That's exactly
the
what
challenge
happens.
is unsuccessful.
Ball in
So
one hand. Great defence there from Will Warbrick, who feigned to go on the outside but then came back to Will Warbrick. So, although he's only been on the wing in a rugby league team for a year, he's learnt pretty quickly the subtleties of both with and without the ball, and he's pulled off a big play there.
Well, you Melbourne fans, your hope's very much alive, even though tonight's been a little tardy. NRLW and NRL Grand Final, same day, 1st of October. So, as always, the first Sunday in October. Get your tickets. Don't wait for your team to qualify. By then, it might be too late. NRL.com/tickets.
Well, I guess that's another thing driving the Dragons over the next couple of weeks. The Tigers winning today.
Yeah.
That's 4 wins.
At least they've got the Tigers on for and against. But might go the distance, that one. Dragons got the Warriors next Friday night in Auckland, and then they finish with Newcastle at Cogra. There could be a real nuisance there in round 27. Depending on how things play out. Here's a kick. This could be important to some.
Brilliant.
He might get 4. Warbrick's going to pin the years back now. He takes a tumble, but there's still 1 play left. Well, what's he done here? What's he done here?
The ball off him while he was on the ground.
Now,
Plays in front to start.
Well, another big play from Jerome Hughes involving Will Warbrick.
now they're so close to Cronulla in for and against. 2 might be important. 2 might be important. I think they wanted Hunt in the bin, and they might have actually chanced their hand for one last play. Another crafty bit of work from Jerome Hughes. Oh, yes. Yeah.
If that was normal from the front, now from the start, he was behind. Yeah. So he's got to be from the start. Yeah.
So Ben Hunt so close and yet so far yet again.
10 metres here, guys. Just give that 10 metres.
Yeah.
You're good there, Zane.
The only thing to be sorted now is will the margin be 8 or 10?
Well, if it's 10, are they 7 clear differential than the Cronulla Sharks? Were they 3 behind?
Yes, good mathematics, Brandy. So, and more importantly,
And 2 points.
the 1 win clear.
Yes.
So here comes Meany, makes it 5 from 8, and the Storm given a hell of a fright at Magong, but they do just enough. Dragons brave, but that's 4 straight losses. Melbourne winners over St George Illawarra, 38-28.